Hello everybody and welcome back to Nerf This Patch. It is console launch day. The next generation is finally here, and as you can see, both the PS5 and Xbox Series X are right at home where they need to be. And I'm really excited to talk about both things that I love and don't love about the new consoles, and just my initial thoughts. I think I wanted to keep this one as raw as I could and make sure that we just focused on I got both. I wanted to see how both felt, and my initial thoughts on them. So let's just get right into it. And let's start with the Xbox Series X. So, if you can see it, the Xbox Series X is over there. I didn't want to unplug it and show cases, so we're just going to leave it over there. But I do have the controller, and I gotta say, if we're going to talk about the good and the bad, the good starts right here. This is my favorite Xbox controller, including over the 360 I have ever had. There's something about this D-pad that is just, it fixes everything that was wrong with the 360 controller, which was the only problem with the 360 controller was this. The triggers feel good. The grooves on the back feel amazing. The buttons feel great. Start and select have more feed to them. The joysticks feel right at home. This is easily my favorite part about the new Xbox. The controller is the best there is. I might even like it a little bit more than the PS5 controller, but I want to play some more games before I say that. So, I'll say this about the Xbox. I like keeping everything universal. I didn't have to worry about finding save files. I didn't have to worry about, how to set everything up. It was pretty easy transition. All of my stuff in my downloads and my Game Pass was ready to go. I was very impressed. I was also very impressed with how good some of the games look. I played Gears 5. I played Halo 5, or Halo Master Chief Collection. I played Grand Theft Auto 5 and Tetris Effect Connected. They looked stunning. The 4K, the high dynamic range. My TV doesn't support 120 frames per second in 4K. It did in 1080p, and it also did the 4K 60, and it was unbelievable. It was mind-blowing. I kind of didn't expect this generation to look that much better. If this is the standard moving forward, I'm very excited. I love the backwards compatibility all the way back to the original Xbox and some of the 360 games. It was just so easy. All of my downloaded games, like everything just felt right at home. Now, I don't play Xbox as much as I used to, but it felt like transitioning from the One X to the Series X was smoother than I could have imagined. Getting to the settings feels a lot easier. The settings allowing you to check like the console settings as far as how you want to render your stuff on your TV, how you want to render certain games, if you want to use high dynamic range, like the checkboxes that they show you, like your TV supports this, and this. This could show you this. That was all really smooth. It's smoother than any of the other consoles, including the PS5. And I really enjoyed that. The design's really cool. I know it looks really boring back there, but I wish I had enough room to stand it up because I think it would look better that way. But the design, I'm a fan of it. I think it's simple. I love the top. I was checking it to see where the cooling came from, and it was really cool. I'm actually blown away by the design. It's quiet. It's very, very quiet. I love that I ran so many games for a while, and that it didn't make a lot of noise. It just felt right. There's something about this that just caught me off guard, and that I was so glad I was wrong about. And finally, it was easy to sync everything up. I talked about it with my save files, but like the moment I started up in Gears 5, like I was right back where I left off, and just in a better state. So I'm a fan. The Xbox Series X, I'll be honest, I really only got because I couldn't find RTX 3080 graphics card, but I'm kind of glad I got it. It runs games better than my PC right now. Well, for now. Some of the things I don't like about it, I still hate the dashboard. I still think the dashboard sucks. It's basically the exact same dashboard as the One X, and that's frustrating. I wish they could have, advanced that a little bit more. I wish there was more customization. The fact that the dashboard is the same means the only thing I could really change is like the theme color, and I wanted to have more accessibility with placing things where I wanted. The pins is kind of annoying, and like the groupings and what goes on the home menu. I wanted something simpler, and I wish they would have went a different route than just making it the same dashboard that they already had. I'm not a fan that there's not a lot of exclusive games at launch. Actually, that's not true. There are no exclusive games at launch. All of the games that I played were on Game Pass, and then like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion and all these other games are all going to be on PlayStation. So there was no I felt a little disappointed that I had to go back and play older games to get the Xbox Series X feel, and I'm hoping that changes in the future. I know Halo was supposed to be a launch title. That game's not coming out for a while, and I don't know any Xbox exclusives or big first-party titles from theirs that are coming out soon. I don't like the design on its side. I know it's made to be stood up, and I wish that if my only complaint was this, I wish that there was the knob. So on the PlayStation, I wish the power button was just like a circle button, and I wish like on the PlayStation 2 where you could twist it if it was vertical or horizontal. I wish it had that, and instead it just kind of looks awkward on its side. And I don't like. I'd rather the heat go up rather than to the side, but maybe that's on me. Maybe when I get a new stand, I can work on. I can work on that. Um, that's pretty much it. I really enjoy this console. I find myself when I had the one when I had the One X, I thought, oh, I'll buy more Xbox games on that and play more, and I really didn't. This time is a little different. I know it's more powerful than the PS4, PS5, but I really like the controller. It feels really good. I've seen the visual comparison of the two, and there are a bunch of Xbox games where I was just like, man, this looks so stunning. Anything that has Microsoft's name, like Cyberpunk. If I was gonna get Cyberpunk today, I would get it on Xbox over PlayStation. There's just something about it that just feels right on the Xbox, and I was waiting for that magic to come back, and I feel like it finally did. So I'm a fan of the new Xbox, and I can't believe I was saying that. But I want to see the games. I want to see the games. All right, PS5. You can see it over there. Let's get into what I like. Once again, I love the controller. Me and Tanya were playing Astrobot or whatever it's called, where you can showcase like the trigger sensitivity and stuff like that. And holy hell, like it's mind blowing. It's unbelievable. Do I like this more than the PS4 controller? Not yet, as far as the feel, but as far as the functionality, it's amazing. There's so much to it. The games at launch are significantly better. I got Spider-Man. I'm probably gonna get Sackboy later. Demon Souls I'm gonna wait on just because I heard it's really not that much different than the original. And Godfall I heard is just okay, but still, it's an exclusive launch game. And Bugsnax was a free game I got on PlayStation Plus. I haven't tried out yet, but I played about an hour of Spider-Man last night. Loved it. I'm gonna have more time tonight to play it. Very excited to see how that goes. The design of the console kind of grew on me after a while, because at first I kind of thought it looked stupid. Like the Seto Kaiba memes and everything like that, I was dying from. On its side, though, it looks pretty good. I'm actually kind of a fan of the design. I wish there was a black version, because everything I have there's black, and it just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. But the design, I'm starting to like. Except it's funny. The games are all that matter for me, but there are actually a bunch of issues I've had with the PS5 that I did not expect. Number one, and this was the shocking one, it's way too loud. That thing, the Xbox is significantly quieter. Every time I boot up my PS5, it's just like churning and churning and churning. When I put a disc in, it's churning and churning and churning, and it's so loud. Not a fan of the noise. Not a fan of the noise, especially when it's just idle and just loading a game. It's stupid loud. On top of that, the disk drive, sometime I put in Spider-Man and it loaded the game, and then I turned off the console, and then when I booted it back up, it didn't think that the game was loadable, so I had to eject it and put it back in, and it finally did recognize it as a game that I owned. So that was weird. I didn't have any issues like that with the Xbox. The sound settings are weird. I like the customization, but I have this headset here, and I have a USB, and I had a setting set on where if you turn the headset on, it will shift the sound to the headset. Well, the headset was off, and it kept prioritizing the headset sound, which means it kept turning off my TV when I didn't want it to. So that was annoying. The hard drive space is pretty irritating that it's only 660 gigs. I understand that there's going to be expandable hard drive space on the back with an NVMe. But why that's not at launch, I don't know. Just a little frustrating. I think the dashboard got worse. I think I've talked about this in my user interface video. Now that I finally got into it, I like it even less. I wish they would have just stuck with something similar to the PS4 one, make it simpler than that already, because like I said with the Xbox, I don't want it to be exactly the same. But so far, I'm not a fan of the new dashboard. And finally, the thing's fucking huge. I know it's a minor inconvenience, but it's too big. The Xbox was already a little too big. Like, I understand it's for the power, and like the slim model, and that comes out, like it's gonna be like significantly smaller, and I don't know. Like this was a weird design choice. The thing's ginormous. This is the biggest console I maybe have ever owned. Maybe. I never owned a fat PS3. So I don't know. It's weird. I like the design, but yeah, it's too big. It kind of ruins the aesthetic of my surround system. So which one do I think is better? I don't know. Whenever this comes down to what console's better, it's always about the games. And right now, with backwards compatibility in the PlayStation Plus, Sony's the better console right now. I think that the Series X with Game Pass in the next couple of years has a chance to overcome that. But if we're taking the games aside, if we're not judging this based on the games, which is the only thing you should judge it on, and we're just basing it on design and basing on everything else I've talked about, I think I like the Xbox more. Did I just say that? I think I like the Xbox more. If we're not talking about games, I think the Xbox just has an aura around it that just feels slightly better. The PS5, I was tinkering with too much stuff, and the Xbox, I went through the settings one time and I was good, and the PS5 was just, it was more of a chore at times than getting the Xbox set up. I can't believe I just said that. The controller is what did it for me. I know a lot of people love the PS5 controller, and I do too, but like I would use this for fighting games. Like this D-pad is perfect. It just feels so good. Like I'm gonna go pick up Call of Duty today. I know they have like the haptic trigger feedback for the PS5, but I think I'm gonna get it on Xbox. I think it would feel better on Xbox. If we're talking games, this isn't even close. It's the PlayStation 5, but and I want to see where this is going in the next couple of years. But if I had to judge right now, like if I for 1 year could only have one console and then I could get the other one later, I think I would get the Xbox first. Now that usually changes. I felt this way about the Xbox. I felt this way about the 360. I felt this way about partially with the Xbox One because they had Titanfall and they had Dead Rising 3. We'll see what happens, but the Xbox kind of caught me off guard. It's a lot better than you think. Um, but you gotta understand that this all comes down to the games. So I'm gonna let I'm gonna let the games speak for themselves eventually, but most of the crossplay games, if they don't have some specific feature like Call of Duty's thing, I'm probably just gonna get it on Xbox for now. And the hard drive matters. Like the hard drive space matters on the PS5. They both load about the same. There are a bunch of games. I like the quick start feature in the Xbox. I didn't talk about that much because I didn't have it working much of the time. But yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that. I think the Xbox Series X has a better launch as of now. If we're not talking about games, just the design, the hardware, the practicality of it. We'll see what happens. Did not expect to say that. Okay, I know this was a short and easy one, but I'm really excited. Tonight is the launch of Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. I'm probably gonna play that a lot tonight with Spider-Man, and then maybe some Call of Duty tonight. So we'll see what happens. That's all I got to say. I just figured raw initial thoughts on both consoles. Next week we'll get back to our bread and butter and really get into some games and fun topics. So thank you guys very much. Keep on gaming.